Peoples of the universe, please attend carefully. The message that follows is vital to the future of you all.
And that message is, if you are upon a live stream and you need to click yourself in, don't also be mopping up a little bit of spilt tea on your desktop at the same time with your shirt, right? Preferably have some kind of napkin handy. But, that's just not the way I roll, baby. That's just not the way. I'm not that prepared, I have to tell you, or hygienic for that matter. Good evening, girls. Good morning. I hope you're well. I guess we're sticking with the Amy intro this week. I'll try for Monday to get something new going. I do want to. Look, I'm just obsessive, right? I'm obsessed about a lot of stuff. Like today, I'm like stressing about all the crap I feel like I've got to get done. Like I like to try and put out 3 YouTube shorts a day, and they have been getting such great traction of late. Ever since they got that community strike, a couple have picked up, but like it's not really worth the hassle, right? Whereas I'm like putting myself out a bit so I can stream more on Rumble. That is worth the hassle. That's paying off. Right, that's paying off. I'm getting 400 or 500 viewers over on Rumble. I'm getting 100-200 viewers on YouTube. That's paying off, and I monetize at Rumble, right? So that's just paying off for me, right? And I've also discovered tomorrow's show is going to be pre-recorded, but it's going to go on Rumble like it's a live stream. I worked out how to do that. I did a test today. I'll give you an example. Yeah, I did a test today, right? I did a 3-minute video on what is a working definition of woke. I've talked about this many times. I still do not drink. Okay, never mind. And so I said, look, this is just a test to see if I know how to do this, right? And it was like a 2-minute video. And I did it. It went out. It got like 100, 200 views. It would have got 1, maybe, or 0, close to 0. That means that Rumble definitely likes the live streaming, right? They heavily favor live streaming. And yeah, it's important because, if platforms let us know what you want, what your algorithm, how to get ahead in your algorithm, we'll do it. Like, really? It's not like I'll do it. I mean, as long as it doesn't compromise my principles, I'll bloody do it. Yeah, of course I will. Oh, just right. Still a bit too hot, but yeah, at least it's tea. I like a nice cup of tea. I switched from coffee to tea recently. I'm quite enjoying the change. Yeah, I will say, ladies and gentlemen, today is we just finished the Jewish month, Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the Jewish first day of the month from Nisan. I said there'll be an energetic shift. Again, I don't look at the events in life, and I try and look at the what I think are the strings pulling the puppets behind the scene, which is God, right? And being able to do that, you're actually able to predict things reasonably well, right? I get things wrong. 1 second. 1 second. I can't read this out like this is a breaking news. Someone's giving some inside scoop. Okay, they created Doom apparently for 90% fans to hate because they were thinking we are missing hating Jodie. That's that guy's theory. You know what? He's not wrong. I have to say, we'll get to it in a minute, but I think this is actually a very good sign to see what happened with it, right? It was really quite kind of wild. It was a weird week. It was a weird week of one story that didn't really matter, bottom line, but it was a weird week. That absolutely. Anyway, today is tonight, right? We just started the 2nd day of the month of Nisan, right? And what happened? What happened over the last 24 hours, right? It went from Trump is 100% being indicted in purple, which he wanted. Now he was like, "Yeah, I will run on that forever," and he would, he would absolutely win the White House on that alone, right? That's crossing a line that people don't want crossed. That it really is, because He did. He didn't do it. Well, firstly, now he really didn't do it. They found this letter that completely exonerates him. That Michael Cohen said, his lawyer said, I paid him. Basically, what happened with this, right? Trump's a billionaire, and he has a lawyer, Michael Cohen, right? And he has this stuff come in, and he says, "You take care of this, right?" So he gets the porn star on his desk, right? Who comes in, and he's the porn star case. And he could litigate and go to put in a bunch of hours and everything, or he could just pay her off, right? Pay her off, 150 grand. Done. It's cheaper and easier for him, right? And he'll just bill Trump, and no one's the wiser, right? That's apparently exactly what happened. So Trump, he has plausible deniability. Weirdly enough, both him and her say they didn't sleep with each other. I didn't know she said that as well. I was like, really? Well, what, if they both say they didn't sleep with each other, what's going on? I don't know. That seems weird. But it doesn't really seem to matter. Meanwhile, we have like the Chinese giving payments to Biden's family, like for something. It was like, no, don't look at that. It was all falling apart, mate. Anyway, it went from Trump 100% going to be indicted at the beginning of the week, right? 100% it was going to happen, and then the energy of this new month came in, and there was a change, right? There was a shift, and the district attorney wasn't able to he wasn't able to get the grand jury apparently yet. He's trying to say there's enough to investigate. In fact, actually, there's some video I found fascinating connected to this. Like it really shows you what live footage of what exactly went down.
Favorite president, me. Whether it's the Mar-a-Lago raid or the unselected.
No. Is this deep fake the voice? Because the voice is, or is it you kind of stuff together? That's the DA who wants to get Trump over nothing. I mean, literally nothing.
Committee hoax, the perfect Georgia phone call, it was absolutely perfect, or the Stormy Horseface Daniels extortion plot. They're all sick, and it's fake news. They know.
Like, is that deep fake? It's so funny.
Know that we will defeat them, but they're not coming after me. They're coming after you. I'm just standing in their way.
That was very good.
And I always
Pete
will.
Johnson deserves a plug for that. That's very good. Frontline reporting. Well done, Benny. Thank you. But that inverted, right? Reality changed. It doesn't feel like it changed because now we're on the other side. But if you think back 3 days, it was 100% going to get indicted, right? And everything changed. Also, Carrie Lake, her case is being seen by the Supreme Court. That's a big deal. That's a very big deal. The Arizona Supreme Court. Well, a case of obvious election fraud. Although, you have to prove the stuff, obviously, now is very hard. Here's some deep fake photos. None of these are real. I could believe all of them. Well, you started with these ones, right? Where, we'll look at that a second. Where the crazy liberals couldn't stand Trump not being arrested. So they made deep fake AI photos of Trump being arrested. This is, the technology behind this is incredible. This is all AI generated, right? And here's this one of Trump running from the police. Yeah! They're desperate for this. I mean, this is what the awfuls, the affluent white liberal females. This is what they live for. The Susans. This is literally what they live for, right? So somebody then started doing deep fakes of Biden, and they look so convincing, right? This to me says the Biden presidency, right? I think this is the thing we can all get behind, and this is totally fake, right? Although doesn't he wish it was real? Doesn't he wish this was real? What's WVERM mean? It's a verb? That can't be good. That must be some kinky thing. I don't know. Again, this is perfect. Biden down with the kids. I don't know. Could you get both the left and right tweeting this out and everybody going, yeah, say you think their point is made? We live in strange times. We live in strange times where we can do this. Like, I'd love to hear Kareem, whatever her name is, not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That can't be right. The awful press secretary who's just like is so shit at lying, right? Is so like I want to play cards against her, right? Like when she's bluffing, she'll sigh. Look, she'll say, and when she's about to lie, I would love to see her say this about these photos, but affirm the message behind them, right? And then we saw this one. As we're source on the ground, Trump has taken command of the NYPD and become the undisputed warlord of Manhattan. Okay, I can believe all of this. We live in strange times. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. You think this isn't the end of days? Really? You think? I mean, like, what do you think this is? Thursday? No, this is the end of days, mate. Tick, 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 tick. 2 weeks out. 2 weeks out. Let's see what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. But whoa, I just honestly the analogy that I've heard used, which I like a lot and think explains things, is that Satan is dying, right? And as Satan loses power, Satan cannot protect his minions anymore, even though they're not knowingly his minions. And I do think the people who are having their plans thwarted left, right, and center, they are his minions, right? I think they needed a great deal of providence to be able to pull off 2020 and January 6th, right? And they were given that, right? They were 100% given that. I just don't think they have that power left in them, right? Which is, again, that's why I look at the universe, right? I look at it from the spiritual side. I look at us like we're, meat puppets, basically. I mean, we all have free will, obviously. So that's complicated. You want to understand the dichotomy between free will and predetermination? Read Watchmen, Chapter 4, the Dr. Manhattan one, and you will understand the dichotomy, how both can exist simultaneously. Very, very good chapter. Is it Chapter 4 or Chapter 6? Let me think. Might be Chapter 6. Hang on. Let's look. Watchmen Chapter 6. Let's see what comes up. Maybe it's Chapter 4 then. Yeah, I think it might be Chapter 4. Hang on. Watchmaker. Very, 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 very clever. Like, Alan Moore is very, very, very clever. Alan Moore is much cleverer than me. I think that's just like, it takes me so much work to read his work because he's a lot cleverer. But it's worth it for me because it's like that's the way you improve your mind, right? It's and I think it's worth the effort, right? I think when you get through to what he's actually saying, it's very good. Although I still have to say, I think one of the things that I am amazed at how good it is now I know it in detail as Westworld. Right, it is so beautiful, so intricate, so beautiful, so clever. Absolutely adore it. Oh, speaking of which, so is Star Trek. I think we're living in a golden age. I do. I think we're living in a. I think this week with the thing with Suze really shows it. Right, it shows how much fandom just won't put up with bullshit anymore. right? I mean, like it's like you saw what happened with Scooby-Doo, even though she got given a medal, Mandy Kyling. I mean, like, Mindy, I would have said no at this point, right? You know, with the banks on fire, right? Maybe, you know, and you know, the end of Western civilization actually happening before our eyes, right? The Russians and the Chinese have united, obviously, and everybody's like trying to move away from war in Ukraine. You got a Chinese-backed deal to end war in Ukraine. And that's probably going to happen, and it's really exposing the Americans as being these warmongering, you know, imbeciles, right? And America started all this so they can get that natural gas business away from Russia, right? I think they're fucked, right? I think they're fucked, which is, let's see what they don't deal well with being fucked, so let's see what happens next. Maybe they'll start nuking. Yeah, I could see that, these assholes. Yeah, these are the same people who told who advised that it would be bad for Trump if he was indicted. It would be awesome. Anyway, so I think we're in a bit of a golden age. You know, the thing with Suze this week really did kind of indicate that, how it was like vomited out instantly. Even like, you know, like people later in the week kind of like shook their heads like, wait, what? I'm siding with who? No, I'm on the wrong side of history. And that happened with me. With what's the name? Here, I'll show you. Like I kept talented kid, Jack Reeves, talented and obviously obviously intelligent because he's talented, right, and witty. You don't become talented and witty without being intelligent, right? So he was upset that, so he's been on an apology tour for this all week, this guy, because he made this hilarious video where he took the piss out of the frankly shitty Doomsday trailer, right? Which was everybody's normal initial reaction, because it was shit and it was condescending. Right? It was just like, you know, Susan one hand is like, yay, I'm in the Hooniverse. Let me tell you about trans rights and politics. Hooniverse. And the other thing is, look, I just took a job. Why are you hassling me? Well, pick a lane, darling. Right? Again, one was she thought Doctor Who fandom was idiot nerds who didn't know anything. And she expected to be able to dunk on the chuds because she thought herself superior because she's a bigot. And like all bigots, they believe their own bigotry. See, this is why their claims of we live in such a racist world are so stupid. Because, this is what this is going to highlight. That we live in such a way, it's so stupid because, yeah, we don't actually see much racism, right? That yeah, it's very hard for them to quantify. Right, it is, and which you'll see right now. Anyway, so he was all upset. So I tried to talk to him nicely. Big mistake. Said, look, dude, only believe things you know you personally know. People lie a lot about anyone along tribal grounds, and it's and then just agree with those lies. Disagree those lies are facts. People can't stand him because he fairly critiqued the Jodie Whittaker era and didn't like the factual things he said. It's actually what one step closer, which we're going to highlight what it is today, right? Because I think this is an important lesson. So then, you know, he thinks it over. Now, a lot of people were responding. I didn't think I would see it on my right, but I thought, yeah, he thought it over, and he replies to me, "Fuck off, Rabbi." Really? And he puts two of my thumbnails, and he thinks he's made a point, right? So I replied to him, dude, think for yourself. This is called comedy. And it enrages people because it rips the piss out of them by showing them they're completely full of crap. That's pretty true. If you have any actual allegation, mate, go ahead and make it, and I'll swat it down. And we all know that's the truth, right? As we're about to see. Look, I'm all for crass humor, but those thumbnails aren't funny, according to you. Woke skull cunt. Okay. I mean, yeah, humor is subjective. Yeah, you're wrong. I'm right. That was funny. You see? Easy peasy. If I say it's probably funny. But it's just Jody with a dominatrix body. What is wrong with that? Okay, I want you to articulate what's wrong with that. And a guy in blackface? Ha! Comedy gold. Well, what was the actual joke? You see, you didn't get that far because you're a bigot, right? Jess comes off extremely creepy, so you're hard to creepy, so you're a hard avoid. Okay. So now articulate your objection. What? And I would love them to know this. What actually do you think is wrong with these thumbnails? You come from a confused generation of woke scolds, and you feel they must be wrong. Now apply your intellect to and substantiate that feeling. You won't be able to. Your arguments will, I'll say, basically fall apart. Sexism, racism. Figured that was clear, but all right. Well, you do you. So then I reply, and he vanishes. Obviously, nope, no racism there at all. We're actually going to look at this, right? No racism there at all. Again, can you articulate what is racist about it? Am I supporting the idea of blackface? Am I belittling black people? No, I'm belittling blackface very clearly. So how do you think it's racist? And that's a valid question, right? The trouble is you figured that was clear, but you didn't think about it, right? And they don't. They're pre-programmed. These are NPCs. Like, I just hope to rattle one of them enough to break the program, as is now becoming obvious. So look, this is the thing he found very offensive, right? I got flack for this thumbnail before, right? I don't, somebody's channel I used to go on really begged me, do you want me to airbrush it out? I'm like, fine, whatever, I'll do it as a favor, right? The current era of Doctor Who, full of contempt and tokenism, according to the Guardian newspaper. Check out my new companion for the next season. Check out my new companion for the next season. It's the most diverse ever. I better take it off because you never know. YouTube is funky right now, right? That's why Rumble's doing great for me. I'm telling you, Rumble is doing so much better. So who am I taking the piss out? Am I taking the piss out of black people? No, obviously not, right? I'm taking the piss out of white liberals who are insanely racist. And that's why their heads are flipping out, right? I'm taking the piss out of people who are angry, who call that racist. Because they deserve to have the piss taken out of them. And as for this, really, this is very mild. This is it's funny. It's clearly humor. It does just say, women are inferior. Like, what is wrong? Just articulate it, right? I can articulate what's wrong with you, right? Just articulate what you think's wrong with it. And they never can. And they just go, well, it's obvious. Or just, then tell me. But can't you see? No, tell me. Act like I'm an alien. Tell me what's wrong with it. And you see, what happens then is they got to think out their argument, right, and say it out. And when they hear it out loud, their faces turn red, right? And they can't go through with it, right? They get to a point where they're admitting, like, killing sentient beings is probably okay, and they get to places where they don't agree to, but they don't have any choice, and they get mad at you. So yeah, this is hilarious. A true alert to the entirety of every fandom. That is true. Icky thump. That's one strange new world that no one wants to visit. Exactly. I'm not supporting the idea of fetishizing Jodie. I mean, quite the opposite, quite frankly. My stomach is. I'm an older man now, right? My stomach's very weak. Like there's some things I don't think I could stand watching, right? And dominatrix Jodie having fun might be one of them, right? I'm actually kind of sure about that, which makes it funny. Ding-a-lings, it makes it funny. Yeah, where'd it go? Hang on. I lost it many times over. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Here. Right. Makes it funny. That's the thing. But again, this is also why they've been programmed not to communicate with each other. With anybody outside, the mind cult, because it's the same reason. No, you're not allowed to communicate with anybody who's in a cult, right? It's because they get You know, if we, once once they start hearing things from outside the mind cult, they things start to fall apart. I mean, the trouble is with the whole like Democrats thing, who are totally in a mind cult. They there's too much support for it because there's too many of them in it. Because they're all worried about being wrong, right? That's what it boils down to. They are all worried about being wrong. Fine, here, we've got something fun to get to next. I'm quite excited. We'll do the chat first. But look what I have saved for you, my lovelies. We got the Doctor Who Season 9 unboxing, baby. Mwah! Still in its shrink wrap. Oh, I kept it sheathed for you. Sheathed for your pleasure. Smell the vinyl. Oh, smell the vinyl. It's too good. Anyway, it reminds me of East Palestine. Fine, let's get to the chat. Doink. Dun, 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 indestructible Captain Scarlet. Dun, 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 dun. Bullshit. Yes, a lot of it about. I'm not even sure we're going to get this article. It's basically we got lots of bullshit to talk about that we all believed in, that we now know is bullshit. But I did thought this was a fun little thumbnail, right? Doctor, what are these explosions of brown smelly goo? That's just the media writing more articles. Well, of course it is. We are doing the Luther review. Me and Mando. Yeah, both Mando and was it both Mando and Picard best ever. Let's just talk about those before we get to the chat, because we need to talk about those, right? Picard is, again, this is spoiler free. Just seen today's episode, absolutely spoiler free, the best episode yet. And it's got a lot of member bearers in it, but it's not member berry-y, right? It's because the hallmark of this is excellent writing that understands the next generation to a really fine detail. Understands and respects, right? So there's a lot going on in this episode. The main plot point I'm not going to talk about because that's a spoiler, right? That is, but I will tell you, without exaggeration, I cried more than once in this episode. It was wonderful, and I was like, groaned with pleasure like that, and I wasn't, that wasn't going on. I wasn't, Daddy, why is that? Why are you banging two raw chickens together down there? No reason. Daddy, why is your boot caught in a bucket of wet soapy mud? No reason, darling. Go back to your My Little Pony. But it was that good. Anyway, and I wasn't doing that, and it was that good. It really was. And there's so much about it was awesome. There's like, you remember in the 70s, you had to have a one black character and everything, the token black. So you have one token awesome Shaw moment in that episode. And oh God, Shaw is so awesome, right? Plot develops very nicely. This feels like a genuine mixture of generations. I can say George is in this episode brilliantly. I love the way they've moved everybody on. There's such a great scene between him and his daughter, right? Which I will talk about in a second. That's not really spoiler. I think the main thing I'm keeping stum about. But it was so good. It was something like there was so much stuff there that was like a Star Trek fan's wet dream. Like starships like nearly knocking into each other. There's incredible effects, doing awesome stuff. Oh, it was also good. Great Riker moments, like really great Riker moments. And he has a lot of great Riker moments. Great cliffhanger. It's taken it to a whole different level, this episode. Right? We were talking about it on Saturday night. I'm going to give everybody a chance to watch it. Something I have liked about it, though, and I was just thinking about today, was how the character Jack, who's Picard's son, who's like a young, brash person, but you see a lot of Picard in him. But you see a young Picard being very Kirk-like, right? So it really brings them together in a very nice way, right? It's a bridge between Kirk and Picard, Jack. And I was thinking, oh, man, wouldn't it be great to see him in a future Star Trek series. Like he wouldn't be a captain, but maybe a I don't know, lieutenant or something. And I was thinking, you know, this series is so freaking perfect. I would like them to kill Picard off at the end of it, right? I think I would like it to be like this should be the capstone. And I hope they do that. I do hope they do that. Look, and they can explore the universe further. There's a lot with Captain Shaw. I would love a Captain Shaw show. And they're really interestingly retconning away the Picard being dead and a robot version of him now. They're really interestingly doing that. In a very, and again, the way I found very clever. There were, what else was I going to say about this episode? So yeah, I like that. There's a great scene in it. You feel that there's a real passing of generations going on, an introduction of new generations. George's kid, whatever name, the one not played by his daughter, the one played by his daughter was also in it. She's in like a couple of scenes. She's like, okay, can do extras, pretty girl. What can I tell you? But the other one, the one who plays the Forge, awesome character who I absolutely love. They have such a blisteringly great scene in this episode, like just blisteringly great, where it was essentially the younger LaForge was a young idealistic one with nothing to lose and would fight for their ideals. The older LaForge, Geordie, is an old guy now who's got a lot to worry about, right? He's got a family, he's got a wife, he's got daughters, he's got a home, right? He's got responsibilities. He's not so willing to blow up everything to protect his ideals, right? He's more willing to say it's not my problem, right? Because frankly, it isn't, right? Whereas his daughter's not, and it's just such a great confrontation, which I think turns Geordie around to a great extent in the episode. Yeah, no, I again, the strength of the show isn't the member bearers, which are in it in abundance, and they're delicious. I don't give a shit. I'm look, there's Enterprise A. I'm okay. That's okay. I don't mind. Oh, look, a Constitution class from Kirk's era. Oh, that's good, right? Yeah, I'm fine. Bird of Prey. Oh. But it's the writing. The writing is blisteringly good, right? This is as good writing as we've ever seen in TNG, probably better. Like just blisteringly good, like confident and with a bold understanding, right? It's absolutely fantastic. I look forward to it every week. I'm going to be sad when it's over, and it's been wonderful. Right, it's been absolutely wonderful. It's we're up to episode 6 of 9, I think, or 8. Is it 8 or 9 or 10? I can't remember. Right, maybe it's 10. I hope it's 10. Right, because and we're heading for them all being together. I know it's going to happen, and it is lovely. Wolf joins up with the crew. It's just lovely, right? There's so much of it lovely. The whole stuff with Ensign Rowe or Lieutenant Rowe, Commander Rowe. Right, last episode. Yes, I mean, because they show it in the flashback, and there's such great subtle acting from Michelle Forbes in this. Like the little bottom of the lip quivers slightly. And I didn't notice it. I was watching it again. I was like, wow, right? It's like a micro. I'm going to enjoy really watching this one. Right, I'm really enjoying this show. And yeah, it's probably the best Trek I've ever seen. I like really. Out of the darkness, right? A Phoenix will rise. And I think that's going on in reality in general. Also, I think Mando was equally one of the best I've seen this week, right? I think we're living in a golden age. And then, yes, that Sue's thing happened and it got vomited out instantly, right? So I think it's a good sign, right? I'm optimistic. Happy days are here again, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I want to tell you. Happy days are here again. Happy days. I'll try to the happy days thing. Monday, Tuesday, happy days. Fine. Let us get to the chat. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan Lee is here. Abigail Cowan have been arrows. I don't know who Abigail Cowan is. Let's look her up. She better be hot. Okay. Abigail. Cowan. American actress. Yeah. What's she been in? Okay. Yes. Okay. I give her to tell you, quite a high spankability rating, right? I would say out of a 1 to 10, 10 being I can't not spank now, right? That has to happen. That's very rare, right? Kind of like was it Margot Robbie in The Wolf of Wall Street with they basically had that whole scene with what's his name? Can't remember his name. I like him though. Yeah, she's very hot. Okay, she's very hot. As anything, right? She could be anything she wants. I don't mind. Ariel, you name it. You can be Burial. I don't care. Yes. More. What's her name? Abigail Cohen. More Abigail Cohen, please. Lottie is here. How you doing? Ongoing greetings with listeners. Matthew Burrows is here. How you doing, Matthew Burrows? Mark the Vicar is here. Iggy Thump, it's Thursday already. Yeah, it is indeed. Perfect timing. That's what they call me. Tzvi. Perfect timing, Lebetkin. That is true. Can't argue with you when you're right. Karen Morgan is here. You just were. I said hello to you twice. The Sodder Engine is here. Colin Archer Colin, mopping up spilled tea with his shirt. I take it Mrs. Rabbi isn't back yet. She is back. Thank God for that. Oh, that was a long trip. It was a week. Okay, but it felt long. And she never doesn't come down here often, right? You know, and if it does, she probably won't see the spilt tea because I mopped up with my shirt. It's funny the things that that my wife and my kids haven't heard before, right? Because I'm not much more into tea, right? So I said, okay, I'm just going to pop the kettle on. They're like, what? I said, I'll pop the kettle on. What? What's that mean? I said, I'm just going to fill up the kettle, fill it up and turn it on. You pop the kettle on? What's that mean? Nah, it doesn't exist. No, it's a thing. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. What are we up to? I forgot right out what we've covered so far. Oh, she feels very covered. We got a weird thing from Big Finish. What's that thing called? Buy 1 and get 1 free. There's some. I don't know. I can't work it out. No, you're doing my head in. So wait. We talked about what's it? Reeves bloke. We talked about Picard. Non-spoiler. We talked about something else as well. I can't remember. It'll come back to me. I'll just whiz through after I'm done. Oh, she had a whiz. What are we up to? Is someone going to talk about the fact that when the creator of Back God, Awful Velma, I talked about that. I did. Yeah, listen, it's the end of days. What do you want me to tell you? But I think it's really nearly the end of days. And like now is probably not the best time to align yourself with the Bidens, right? I would say, listen, if you're going to align yourself with the Bidens, I would wait till after the summer, okay? That's what I would do. It will be bad to be caught in that bunker, okay? You don't want to be. Died in the Paradigm 2 was crying buckets when he heard Nerdroid played it. Yeah, I mean, because like again, they forgot they didn't get the upload quick enough that they're supposed to support it no matter what, right? They forgot and reacted like human beings. Went, oh, that's shit, like like and then now they're in the position of defending something that they all think is shit, and everybody knows they think is shit. Because otherwise, I don't know. Manhattan DA, Trump created a false expectation he would be arrested. No. You got your idiot ass handed to you, right? And again, I don't think anybody in this is a genius at playing anybody else. I think God gives success to those he wants to give success to, and failure who wants to give failure to. And it's not necessarily a punishment. It's not necessarily a blessing. It's not necessarily a good thing, getting success and getting failure. God gives you whatever you need to do to be the person he needs you be, the best you can be, right? Yeah, but he's giving success to Trump now, and that's the thing. I can feel the energy shifting away from the powers of evil with this, right? Like they had the power and it slipped through their fingers, right? Which I'm really excited about. If Trump wins, we will have temper tantrums to electric boogaloo. No, I don't think so. I think if Trump wins, there's going to be shock and awe, right? Or I think, but honestly, by the time we get to 2024, the world will change so much it won't be a problem, right? I really think that that's more likely, right? It just won't be a problem, right? Because we live in a significantly different world. Well, okay, yeah, I mean, listen, we call this this world is upside down right now, right? That's the way it's good is good, good is up, evil, good is down, evil is up. If that inverses, right, everything will change, right? Why would it inverse? Happy days are coming, baby. All right, that's been my message. And listen, I may be reading into this, right? But it matches my weird worldview again. All right. They seem a little obsessed though because they're insane. Mr. Jekyll and Hyde, they're insane. RJ Fitzroy and Macquay is here. Good morning, sir. Good morrow to you. The AI Biden looks awake. Yeah, that's how you can tell it's fake. I'm excited that Adobe has their first AI product coming out. AI Firefly. Incredible. It's going to make my life so much easier. Like, for example, let's say I got a picture of David Tennant, right? And I've got, it's like that sort of shape, right? And I needed to have that sort of shape. That will just repaint it, boom, and make it so it was like, it'll work it out. Oh, it's going to make my life so much easier. Number one, you're the Duke. You're the Duke. I don't know what that means. Satan will never defend his minions. That's why they defend each other. We have a different. It's not really Satan. It's not really a guy with a pointy thing. It might be with a red suit. No, I think it's more of a energy of evil. I think energy might be the wrong. Okay, we describe Satan as an angel that's job is tasked to make us sin. Right? That's essentially how we visualize it. And actually, our tradition is that when he wins, right, and we succumb to Satan, right, he sits and he cries, right? He would rather that we win, right? While getting a lap dance from Nicola Bryant, I don't know what's going on, but I would want to get a lap dance from Nicola Bryant, right? Oh my God. Carter is seriously good. Amanda says it's still seriously awful. Listen, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. I totally hear you, mate. I just feel this is really in style. It was in style Star Wars, right? Last week was a bit boring, but this week, oh, love it. It's just like Mando's being Mandos, right? It was like a bunch of Mandos Mandoing, right? Being very, very Mando-y. Kronos Godwine is here. Comes a kind of Canadian Prime Minister. Oh my God, he's the worst. I mean, really, I would rather be under Mao Zedong, or Pol Pot than Trudeau. God, at least they're honest about being murderous psychopaths. You've been back on Twitter for 2 years, kind of regretting. I like Twitter nowadays, like because you can punch back. Oh, right. It's like it's not a one-sided fight anymore. It's so much better. And Elon Musk is funny, right? Like he tweeted on a presidential thing, say, hey, we done this in that first year. That the banks are melting. Actually, that was think it's fine to discriminate people based on their race, but only if they're white. It's like, I know they're racists, right? They are the biggest racists in the world, right? Squee says Gareth. What's going on? My must be my thingy. My thingy. We're getting that next. My season 9 box set. Jimmy Quirks is here. Hey, Jason Quirks. Because episode 3 Mandalorian has been fantastic. I agree with you. I agree. I mean, episode 3 kind of slowed it up a little bit. It was an interesting character study, and I'll watch it back in a full season. Can they please just make a Mando movie from the stuff from Boba Fett, so we don't have to wade through Boba Fett? I mean, I guess I'll do it, but like, I'm annoyed I have to. I'm definitely annoyed I have to. Dr. Alex is here. How are you doing, Dr. Alex? I hope you're well. You have more things that are debuting. Man, I got too much going on. I got to finish off the story for season 13. I'm 2/3 of the way through now, right? I've done the second chunk, more than 2/3. It's more like an epilogue right now. It's basically, imagine the meddling monk and the Capaldi doctor, but the meddling monk as played by Matthew Berry, right? Which I just think I find hilarious. I love him as a monk. There's a bit in it we'll see about 2/3 in where they're breaking into a safe and they're using like these nano-sized version clones of themselves, essentially. So there's lots of versions of Matthew Berry like doing kung fu fighting. I'm fire! I can just hear him do that. And versions of the doctor doing jujitsu. Was it Venusian Aikido? I thought that was fun. Mark Lewis is here. Rabbi, did you see the Kirk Easter egg in this episode? I saw. Was that Kirk? I saw one thing. I didn't realize it was a Kirk Easter egg. I mean, there was a bunch of. There was. You saw a Kirky era. I know there was a lot of Easter eggs in this episode. Yeah, they were Easter eggs. I don't think they were member berries. If there's an old Jewish phrase we need to remember when we think of the end of things we enjoy, it was good. 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 It is good that it was. Yes. That's true. I can't argue with that. Doctor Who is black for no apparent reason. That doesn't seem a sign that we're living in a golden age. I think for me, it's just not a bother. I mean, I said it is for you. I genuinely, I give you no shit about it ever, right? I always give your side of the argument, right? Which I think is a fair one. Right, I do. It's just like it's not my bag. Yeah, it's like it just doesn't bother me at all. Would have been better if they did it back in the 80s, in my mind. So it really wouldn't have been a thing at all. Oh, that'd be great if they brought in, instead of Colin Baker, they brought in like a black actor with a new script editor, right? Man, I wish I could add a drink on Colin Baker. Oh, not Colin Baker, with John Nathan Turner back in the day and say, you know what? A black, sexy doctor, with a washboard abs. That'll go. And they'll just whisper into him, and that'll turn into a masturbatory fantasy by the evening, right? But by the time you get to morning, he's talking about it. To everybody, he's like, oh, interesting idea. That probably would have saved the show, would have saved his career. Right, because that would have actually been a good idea, and get a new I would have convinced what's the name to leave, Eric Saywood. He was over, he was done. Season 14, we love season 14. Called it season 13. The previous one. Look, I do that. I get my kids' names wrong. Right, that happens. Fine. Let's move on. Up to our first item today. A genuine unboxing, Doctor Who. The song's written by Peter Fowle. Don't mention that. We like Doctor Who. Anyway. Speaking of Peter Fowle, smell the plastic. That's bad. See, I'm piercing the seal. I'm parting the hairs. I don't rehearse anything before it comes out, which is also what I say about sex as well. So oftentimes I'm as surprised as you. Okay, always a great packaging. it's a bit spacey, right? I got to get more boxes so I can see you got over there couple of seasons I need to put in the smaller boxes over there with the real logo. But look, it's a nice production. There we go, doink. Right, it is a nice, good form factor. Again, a little bit chunky what it needs to be. Cool bit is this comes off, and this is all your basic information, right? But just the design that goes through every pore of these releases is fantastic. I think it's Lee binding. Lovely bit of artwork, right? I love the perspectives off a little bit one hand, but I love the artwork, right? It is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Horrible logo, I know. I'm sorry. Lovely. Again, I love that the Master's TARDIS in a time vortex made out of the Pertwee logo. So fine, this is my first look at the whole thing. I'll look at it with you. There, it opens up. Now the cool thing is this, right? These things open. Yeah. Oh, it's got that new DVD smell. Oh man. Okay, so these things open up. This is literally the first time I'm looking at it. It's got the right roundels, right? I love that bit of was it Destiny of the Daleks, I believe? Oh, there you go. Stuff's falling out. One second, I'll pick that up. See, I didn't think that through, right? But you get this beautiful, oh, where is it? Third Doctor console room, right? Is that an illustration? Yeah, oh man, it's gorgeous, right? Again, the attention to detail on this is absolutely fantastic. Let's have a look at the booklets. Close that up. And again, I haven't even looked at the discs, obviously, because I've just opened the bloody thing. That goes this way. Huzzah! So now, where did the booklet go? Hang on. Let me go diving down there. Okay. Oh! Okay. No, it's okay. I'll be fine. I got it. Nobody panic. Everything's okay. Nothing weird is happening. Oh, God. Oh. Okay. Just don't get my breath back. We'll be fine. No problem. Okay, here we go. I don't want to tell you, but what I had to do to retrieve that, right? I don't want to have to tell you. All I can tell you is that, boy, that took a lot of work. Now, where'd it go? I dropped it again. Here we go. Again, every bit of this is beautiful. It absolutely is. The Dream Team. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I love this season. This season is very akin to, I would say, the Donna Noble season when they were very, very accomplished and they knew what they were doing. So there we go. So disc one is Day of the Daleks, my favorite thing on this, I think. So there, I prefer the HD version. I mean the updated version. So this is 4 episodes. So on disc one, you got original broadcast, audio commentary by Anna Barry. That was Annette, Jimmy Wilson, Shora, Barry Letts, Terrence Sticks, and Vision Mixer Mike Catewood. That should be a good little combo. Infotext, making a documentary, Behind the Sofa is Katie Manning, Peter Davison, Wendy Padbury, Sarah Sutton, Janet Fielding, Sophie Aldred. So it's probably okay. Katie Manning with Wendy Padbury and Sophie Aldred. And then you got Janet Fielding, Sarah Sutton, and Peter Davison together, right? So you probably only got 2 groups in this one. Views from the gallery, Barry Letts and Vision Mixer Mike Catewood, studio for talk you through studio footage. And what else we got? Now and Then. They're always fun. I like those. That is actually quite a good one. I remember that from DVD, PDF stuff. So disc 2 is the omnibus version and also the special edition. And the cheating memory, why old Doctor Who memory episodes might be better, might seem better than reality. No, they're just awesome, right? And they got convention footage. Oh, cool. What year is that from? Coded from MonsterCon 2 held in 86. with Nicholas Courtney, Richard Franklin. Oh, I used to do great panels, right? Oh, look at this artwork. Oh, lovely. The 3 Doctors action, but that was in season 10, right? And again, one of my favorite publicity stills. Huzzah! Groovy Doctor. Hey, I got my bell bottoms ready. Again, I prefer it with like the Nicholas Brigg voices. I just think it's better. What do you want out of me? So this one doesn't have full of illustrations. The last one did. This is much more. They must have had enough photo material. Fine. Next one is Curse of Peladon. The story of the making Peladon is awesome, right? They went to Terrence Dix talks about it, right? He said, we went to see it, and he said, what do you think? He said, it looks like a giant dick. And he's like, okay, so we have to do something. So they come back, and they say, what do you think now? I said, looks like a giant dick wearing a curtain. And they're probably right. Making of, that's in that. Behind the Sofa. Katie Manning featurette. That's worth it right there. Storyboard comparison. That's interesting. I would see that. Film footage, trials and continuities. Archive is John Pertwee audio archive. John Pertwee reads an audio, a British audio book of Curse of Peladon. That sounds fun. I bet you can get an AI voice out of that of John Pertwee. Anybody wants John Pertwee reading their fan fiction? Let me know. Oh, I bet you could get that out of that. Leave that to me. DVD versions presented in standard definition. Okay, blah 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 blah. It's lots of archive stuff. This was I think that was the VHS release cover, right? I think Sea Devil. Down, down, down. What we got in the Sea Devils? Audio commentary. 5-1 sound, isolated music score for the Sea Devils. Bam, 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 bam. Like, really? We don't need that. Tell you what. If I give that back, can I get a lap dance from Nicola Bryant? Okay, that seems fair. Okay, I might be prepared to give more up for a lap dance from Nicola Bryant. That sounds like really something that I would absolutely want. Right? Yes, I would absolutely want a lap dance from Nicola Bryant. I bet that would be incredible. All right, I bet that'd be absolutely incredible. I need to take a break for about 5 minutes. No reason. Just the way things are, mate. Making a documentary, behind the scenes footage. Oh, behind the scenes. Oh, see the real filth. No, there's no real filth in the Sea Devils. I mean, I know of. There we go, and then they got the omnibus version and the next one. Location. Oh, I love these ones. So it's Katie Manning meets old friends, revisits location. They did this in another one. It's lovely. I love these location. Yeah, this is really cool. They did it with Nicola Bryant. Oh, I wish I could do it with Nicola Bryant. Let me tell you, that's a major focus on my channel. Nicola Bryant, Colin Baker. I don't want to Baker in that fantasy. Going to old locations, right? That was really good. So DVD versions, I don't know. This is like a waste. Who cares, really? So Delgado escapes. That was, what's this from? I've seen this artwork before as well, I think. Hang on. It's got that nice 70s Captain Scarlet film. Do they ever like? Do they credit it anywhere? After Image, Malcolm Hoops novelization of this story. Oh, it's from the. Okay, fine. Now we're up to the Mutants. I like this story because he made the white male patriarchy South African, right? So they have a commentary with Katie Manning, Garrett Hogan, who's Kai, Terrence Dix, Bob Baker, Christopher Barry, and special sound super Brian Hodgson. Making of diversity documentary exploring racial diversity in Doctor Who. Wait a minute. They called that something different before. Let's have a look. 1 second. Okay, 1 second. Doctor Who. Doctor Who. Doink. The Doctor. I'm looking in my files, right? Mutants. Race Against Time, it's called, right? I believe, yeah, I think is that called Race Against? Is that the one? I'm not going to get the book with it. There's Mutt Mad and there's Dressing the Doctor. I'm not sure which one that is, but I remember it's actually quite a good little documentary, right? It's AVI, so it probably won't play. Oh yeah, I do like them. Yeah, good, nice piece of artwork over here. 1 second. Yeah, fine. I don't see devils, but I sure hear them. You need to drink harder, mate. Drink harder. Yeah, listen, who would not want a production that has that in it? And the famous mutant one. Good God, man, do you know what these things are? And weirdly, bizarrely, no new special effects on the Time Monster for some unknown reason. I mean, why not? Like, what? Yeah, it looks like a guy waving his arms when the monster shows up. It's not impressive. This really needed your effects. I'm sorry. So you got John Levine, that's Benton, Susan Paligon, who's Lucas, Barry Letts, production assistant Marion McDougall, and a panel of modern British television writers. That's interesting. Wonder who's that. Okay. Between now and then, yeah, let's say that was the making of, I believe. Oh no, let's look at the science of it. The science actually was very interesting. I do agree with it. Okay. Trials are continuing nationwide. Then disc 8, you had the making of documentary, John Pertwee sketch, the Third Doctor, finally encounters the Cybermen. Okay, when I rip that, we will watch that. Okay, that sounds cool. The Panopticon Archives from 92 with Ingrid Pitt. I bet that's good. Right, it's just after I left the country. That was my era of fandom, like being in person. Look at this. I love that artwork. I love the love a bit of Delgado Master. Did I miss anything out? Let's have a look at this thing. It talks about what's in it. So you got Behind the Sofa, location, Time of Atlantis. Oh, Brad. Okay, we didn't have a making for that. Michael E. Bryant at the helm. That sounds good. The Fell guy. Look at the Stuart Fell. But I would like to see the Michael E. Bryant thing, right? Movie length rare omnibus version of Day of the Daleks and the Sea Devils. You got the new version of that. Audiobook of Curse of Fenric. Not Curse of Paladin, not Curse of Fenric. Convention for the interviews with Nicholas Courtney, Richard Franklin, Terrence Dick, Ingrid Pitt, including different things, Blu-ray trailer. Fine. So there's no what's name. Well, who would he interview now? Matthew's interview. Everybody's dead essentially. Terrence Dix, Barry Letts, John Pertwee, Katie Manning. They've already done. Who else is there? I mean, like the cupboard's bare. What do you want? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Hang on, one second. Let me write that down. So that's the unboxing. Oh no, we haven't finished that unboxing. All right, let's look at the disc art. That'll be the final thing. Because I look, all this stuff interests me. I might interest you. Fine. So that is. Let me move this out of the way. Well, that'll be Day of the Daleks. Huzzah! The original version is Day of the Daleks Omnibus and 2000. Was the recent version? Huzzah! What's it? Bit of Curse of Paladin. I do like these, like TD. I like these aliens they had in Vogue at the time. My favorite one was Colony in Space, You know, when the computer opens up and like the wee guy with a head and wee little body shows up. The Sea Devil. Bit of Joe Grant action then. Everyone's favorite poetry still. Huzzah! Woo, woo, woo. I'm trying to do the Sea Devil crack as it runs away. And interesting choice for the mutants. Okay, guys, that's the way you want to go with that one. That's fine. Then we got, what's this one? The Time Monster. Man in a chicken costume. Attack! No, not man in chicken costume. What's in this one? This is disc 37. Disc 8. More Time Monster. That's actually a better disc up. And then, let's see what's really behind. Oh, you take the last disc out. Oh, that's lovely. I like every bit of this is well designed. I love it. Right? I mean, again, the love in these things just shine through, right? They really do. They really do. So, look, these are pricey. These are really worth it, right? Especially in the coming apocalypse. You're going to want physical media. If we survive, maybe it'll all be on Disney Plus. Who knows? Who knows or dares to dream, ladies and gentlemen? Who knows or dares to dream? Fine. So we did that unboxing. Good. I remember that. What's next? Anybody else we need to get to in the chat? 1 second. Oh, good. Hopefully Keith will be joining us on Saturday to talk about Picard. That would be nice. Man, Picard was it's like so good. It's ridiculously good. It was like again, Mando and Picard this week knocked it out the park in an insanely good way. See, that's why I say this is why I say to people, really live in the moment, right? Again, we had that awful Suze thing this week, which was really put a shadow over the week, but it just showed you how incongruous, how over it is, right? How it's just not going to fly. I mean, like the market research they got from that, which was, oh my God, sod off with this shit. It's not something you're going to be able to, like the embarrassment that must have caused them, which is totally deserved and wonderful. But then we had a best episode of Picard, I think best episode of Mando. I understand, Mark the Vicar, Mando's not for you. I am loving it. Pure Star Wars. Pure Star Wars. I have to say, it's incredible when you actually meet somebody who feels the same way about these wonderful pieces of genre we're experiencing right now. You link up in a way that is profound. It's kind of like when Jenna first encountered the Liberator and became completely enmeshed with it, right? And then or more, how Transformers leak up into a giant Transformer. Your power isn't doubled; it's exponentially magnified, right? And you want to be careful who you magnify that energy with. It could lead to bedwetting, I'll say, and going blind. But that's why you need somebody of level head, stout mind and body. Fortunately, I don't know who that, but I'll ask Dan Hadley. Maybe he knows where I can find it. It's Sergeant Dan Hadley. How you doing, sir?
You got to bring it up like that and give a little wiggle at the top. Yeah. It's not a proper salute without the wiggle.
That also works in pleasuring a woman.
Tips from the top, tricks of the trade. You only get this with that guy,
me, baby.
Yeah, good stuff. How are things? Okay, we've survived. Doom hasn't.
You're getting a good Friday night this week.
I think what you mean. Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, date night's not till Saturday.
Your Mando and Picard night, right?
It is well remembered. Yeah, I've got them coming up tomorrow. It's the night where I hunker down. I couldn't last week. I was out and about last week.
Right.
I was with a young lady, but I was So, but this Friday I am back on the sofa, out there with Picard and Mando.
I'm not spoiling it in any way. I've already said this on the channel. I actually cried more than once in Picard. It was that wonderful and groaned with pleasure without touching myself. a lot of the way through it. It was the writing is fantastic. I mean, that's really what makes it work. Yeah. There's a callback to Encounter in Farpoint, which is so perfect. They actually show footage from it, but somehow it works. It fits in, and it's such an incredibly strong character moment, right? And they also have great character moments with LaForge in it. It really just the quality of writing is fan. Plus, lots of member bearers. I mean, there is lots of member bearers in this episode.
Well, given the fact that they've got so much sort of paddling back upstream to do with this, you can't say that this show is all nostalgia bait, can you? That's the beauty.
No,
that's
no. As I say, but that's just like icing on the cake. The writing is so strong. Yeah. Like, bottom line, the writing is very.
If there was no meat on the bones, if there was no texture, if there was no pathos, if there was no shape to the story that we're being told, then you could look at that stuff and think, "Oh, this is really superficial." But
you mean like we did for the first 2 years of it, like on Discovery, where they're like, now my ship's going to break into 1 million ships, and they're all super powerful, and here comes an alien that will eat your face and the galaxy.
With each further week of Picard, that stuff seems like we've woken up from I'm not even going to say a cheese dream, from an out and out nightmare. It's almost like it never happened. Yeah. There's only the wear and tear on my psyche and on my soul that says that I experienced any of that crap. And by the end of this season, I suspect that spiritually, Star Trek will be in a much different place.
I agree with you.
Most of the fandom are on board.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, most of the fandom seem to be on board. I know several people who weren't going to watch this. Starry-eyed girl, for example, and you know Sarah. She's not the most. Right. She's not the most intransigent of people, right. But she really felt that there was nothing left to see here, and she wasn't going to come in on this season. But she has, and so she's been playing catch up, and because she's not been very well, and now she's up to speed with it, and I think she's finding the same. So that restorative value.
Is she going to be on your channel talking about it?
She's probably in a couple of weeks when she gets back online.
I really want to hear her take on it, right?
Yeah, so do I.
Hear her take.
It's Sarah's. Get well soon, Sarah, if you're watching, because she was in hospital a couple of weeks ago and she's been recuperating.
I hope she gets better. I hope she gets better soon.
Yeah, she's all good. Yeah, they'll sort her out. They took it out, turned it round and popped it back in again, didn't they?
Oh, there you go. I'm sure that'll do the trick. What else was I going to say? And the other thing I was saying earlier I like about it is Jack Crusher is very much a young Picard who seems a lot like Kirk. You know, he's a nice bridge between Kirk and Picard. So I was saying I would like to see them kill off Picard properly at the end of this season, and as a capstone and move on. Right? I think they put a great.
I've no hankering to see him pass away, but I'd like to see him sign off. I think it's quite clear that I wouldn't say we're powered on fumes with Patrick Stewart at the moment, but I think there's only so much gas left in the tank. I think he knows that, and I feel that he's rallying, if anything, over these 10 weeks.
Right, but the difference is his feebleness makes sense in terms of the story and the script. Right, and because of that, you can't keep going back to that well, can you? You can't say, okay, how decrepit is he this time when we see him? You know, it really must have an end point. They're interestingly very much leaning into the android body thing now in a really clever way, right? I think they are going to really make that kosher. Right,
I completely already. I mean, I've got every faith in Terry Matalas and Ed Spaliers, that actor. I mean, I said this week one of this, and I said it really instinctually off the top of my head. You know, I pull a lot of these things out of my arse, and I just hope no one notices. But I said that as an actor, he reminds me, the guy as in the role of Jack Crusher. He's kind of like if you got Chris Pine and Tom Hardy and pushed them together into one bloke. Yeah. And of course, Chris Pine played a younger Kirk. Tom Hardy effectively played a younger Picard in Nemesis. Right, okay. And so
it's a nice fusion.
Yeah, I think he's that kind of actor.
For me, again, I think it is firing on. So I think that's perfect. Mando, I'll wait till you leave before I do my review. Yeah, for me, it was wonderful, right? It was you have a flashback to again, I'm not spoiling anything, but to the night of the fall of the Jedi Temple, and you meet this like super cool Jedi. I'm like, oh, I want to know more about this Jedi, right? Awesome. So it really. I mean, and the main story in it is just it's pure Mandalorians. It's just Mandalorians being Mandalorians. Oh, and awesome.
They need to let Jon Favreau they just need to leave him alone, let him make this show, stop interfering with it, stop trying to spin it off into other things too, and just let him get on with it and tell his story in his own time. In the same way, hopefully they're going to let Terry Matalas do that. Look, well, that's already all done, isn't it? I would imagine the Mandalorian is as well. I can see why people have been slow to trickle back to the Mandalorian this time. I think 2 years since the last 4
barrier
seasons.
for themselves with the Boba Fett episodes. They made a massive barrier. It was stupid. It was so this was I think I put this out today. Mandalorian's leads directly to the sequel trilogy until it doesn't. People are freaking out about they've mapped up. They're not even touching that for years, and by this time next year, they're going to be absolutely working to move away from the sequel trilogy into an alternate timeline. There is by this time next year, there is going to be no pretense anymore, right? It's all going to be over. I think we've been watching the pebbles crumble, fall.
Yes.
I think we're going to see an avalanche in the next 3 weeks.
With Victoria Alonso being sacked, basically.
That was a big one
from Marvel. Then they've tried to hush that up. They've tried to spare her blushes, which I can understand.
No,
but she's clearly been fired. And I think that this is just obviously the David Zaslav stuff at Warner Brothers and DC, that was obviously a major step. This is a huge step. What's going to happen next? Who's going to be on the chopping block next?
How Kathleen Kennedy has a job is beyond me. I've never seen such public failure outside of government with no repercussion whatsoever.
The longer they've been in the industry, the deeper seated they are into the establishment there. And Kathleen Kennedy's been a producer now for 4 decades. Then the harder they are to shift. Gardening leave is the expression, isn't it? I believe that'll be the case, but she will be gone. And certainly as regards The Last Jedi and the final film that I can never remember the name of, those 2 movies now, because I haven't gone back to them, I refuse to keep talking about them. So they're fading, just like Discovery.
I tried to rewatch Last Jedi at one point. I tried a couple of times. You can't get through
fading.
It.
No, you can't. They're fading from memory. They had no lasting impact on the surface of pop culture in their own worth. Only the discussion, the furore around it, ever left any kind of mark at all. The films themselves had no impact. And the further we get between that and wherever it's going, the better. Star Trek has just hit warp factor 10 by screening Picard season 3. I think Star Wars is yet to have, as a franchise, is yet to have that moment.
I think it's Picard's not getting good numbers. It's people are just giving up. That's what I understand.
I think that's unfortunate, and in some ways,
that's why I would be surprised if we get a 3rd season of Strange New Worlds.
In some ways, I think they may have been better off making this 3rd season and using these scripts and making this show, but they may have been better off making it under another name at Star Trek, whatever, and offering it out as it's a 10-part event series and just making that regularly. They did, they did. In Britain, when you boot up Amazon Prime, on the home screen, it comes up that Star Trek Picard is the top-rated show. But I'm no expert on.
That's correct. You ignore everything else, right? I didn't mind Strange New Worlds, but you can ignore everything from what's the one before Nemesis? Insurrection. Go in from Insurrection to this, you'll be fine, right? It's fantastic, and this is again the difference between Picard and Next Generation is the difference between Doctor Who when it came back in 2005 to Doctor Who Classic, right? Classic is wonderful. The realism they gave characters in the Rusty Davies version, Stephen Moffat version, right? The three-dimensionality they gave, which you've never had before, right? I love that scene where I think it was it the Donna one where Donna joined. He was talking to himself in the TARDIS and he didn't realize, and it pulled back and showed how empty and alone he is, right? That sort of like having the assistant with a boyfriend and a mum, right? Brilliant, and never been done before.
Yep. Beautifully made, expertly measured, delivered with style. Even if not the biggest budget in the world, they had budget enough to sell those stories, to tell those stories, and to get into the hearts of the nation.
It looked fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, Ian Diaz was dark on the budget back then. He said his head was in his hands when Series 1 screened, but Ian is literally the only person I have ever heard say that about the comeback of Doctor Who. Most people were blown away by it. I won't say in a sort of 2001 Avatar sort of way, but certainly blown away that a British show on a Saturday tea time could look that good.
That's why it was so huge. It was a British show that felt like it could compete with its American counterparts, which we haven't seen. We hadn't seen up until that point, right? No. We really hadn't seen it. I was going to say, how much time do you have?
I've got a good 20. I've got about 20 minutes or so.
Right. That's being the case. Let's head over to this then.
I'm just relieved to find that Doom hasn't had you in her sights. She hasn't hunted you down and polished you off, because I know that you were making friends with her earlier in the week. She's blocked. She's done a Cornell. It's what I call Cornell. She's blocked everybody.
She's desperate to move on. She is desperate. This is what happened with her, right? She said, "Oh yeah, I'll get this job. I'll say I'm in Doctor Who. I have no idea what it means, and I bet toxic men will dunk her and will come, and they'll be dumb, and I'll dunk them, and they'll look stupid, and I'll look great, right?" And that she tried to do that, and she had her ass handed to her over and over and over and over. It was one of the most humiliating beatdowns, that self-inflicted, that she wouldn't stop.
It was self-inflicted. Yeah, I wanted to like her. I didn't like what she'd done, obviously, in that trailer. It was awful. Yeah. But I wanted to like her. I can see that she's quite a gifted entertainer. She seems to have her audience. And I watched some of her stand-up, and it's very energetic. And I admire anybody who can do that. But the more the woman spoke and engaged with people, the clearer it became that she's absolutely insufferable. I mean, you don't get a full view of an entire person's being from their exchanges on Twitter, but my God, incredibly morose, totally entitled, and it's almost as if, I just don't know what planet that woman's living on. I'm not going to be following the project from here on.
I would pay to see Rusty Davies' real reaction. As much as I would have bought in the comics and the books and the audios. I'll pay that. How about Russell? Russell, listen to me. We'll pay $100 a head, right, to be able to see your genuine reaction when you saw that piece of shit and what went down subsequently. $100 a head. You'll have budget for another 20 episodes. Okay, I guarantee you.
I bet SFX won't be covering that. What a great cover! I really like the look of this film. I think it looks fun.
The movie looks like it's going to be shit, but
you think so?
Probably.
I think it looks fun.
I think it looks fun, but they were talking about how they wanted to emancipate the male characters. I'm like, really? Why would you say that? Why? But okay, never mind.
Deflating.
Let's have a look. They even had the Raffi 7 without me wanting to vomit in this episode, which was quite a feat. Who's he with this week? Man, they're really focused on Sarah Jane Adventures right now. All right. What's this? How David Bowie fits into Lola's second World War II found footage film. What is this? This looks weird. Lola is in cinemas from April 7th with a digital release on May 8th. I guess I'll see it then. I don't know.
What's
That's
that?
interesting. Signed to a found footage movie that somehow connects with David Bowie.
Okay.
I'll watch the trailer. Okay, you've intrigued me to watch the trailer. Send in the clothes. What is this? It's I don't know. Infinity Pool is in cinemas from March 24th. Have you seen Luther, by the way?
No, I've never seen
good.
Never seen a single episode of it.
By Gandalf's Warner Brothers and New Line teaming up for a series of Lord of the Ring movies. Yeah, they're basically looking to humiliate Amazon, right? Make them look stupid. Vin Diesel reuniting with Tim Worthy for Riddick Fura, whatever. Cranks Brian Hellboy, don't care. James Manigold in the frame to direct Swamp Thing. That will be very good.
Yeah.
Addison Rae stars and Eli Roth. I don't care. Thanksgiving. Weta Workshop handling giant spider effects for Australian Horror Sting. That'll probably be very good. Kevin Feige promised Spider-Man 4 is on the way. We have a story. You leave the story alone, arseholes. Leave it to Sony, okay? You don't know what you're doing. Kane Parsons' viral video, the backroom found footage. I have no idea. Know what I did last summer, How to Train Dragon, Deadpool, Nosferatu. Disney once again delaying the Marvels. Yeah. If only they could remove that from reality. They are embarrassed. Have you seen this movie? Looks quite interesting. Was it 39?
Is this the one with Adam Driver in? I think this looks fun.
It looks like. I want to go to the cinema to see that, but I would see it on a streaming service. Right? Something about the cow who sang a song of Into the Future. Okay. Yes. It's okay, fine. If you want to go see that, you can. I have zero interest. Spider-Man Noir, doing a live-action Spider-Man Noir show. That sounds interesting. Amazon. See, Amazon is very hit and miss. When they do good stuff, they do good stuff.
Yeah.
Right? It's but often they just mainly do garbage. I don't know. It's like it's so by accident anything comes.
See, as much as I like the aesthetic of Spider-Man Noir, I think that would be a mistake. I think that Spider-Man now, post No Way Home, they're at a very crucial point. They can't dilute this too much. I think a project
they'll
like that
screw
would
up and it'll never happen. I mean, like, why has there never been a Judge Dredd TV show?
No idea.
It's such easy, like, it'd be so easy to do well, right? It's just, oh god, it's
a wealth of source material to go to. You could build massive standing sets.
Right. Yeah, it's crazy.
Carl Urban desperate to play it again, and if he, if he does age out, they could easily find somebody to play that part. But
or it could be a high-end streaming service series. Which, like a 6-episode thing. That's like huge, like that. I think it'll be good. The Rig got renewed for a second season. Do you ever finish first season?
No, I didn't.
I'm bored out of it.
Yeah, I was bored as well. People tell me it was worth it, but I'll take their word for it.
Right. Avenue 5 is axed. I saw that coming. They probably did those 2 episodes the 2 seasons back to back. Brian Middleton starring Apple TV Plus's new take on Fritz Lang classic Metropolis. Apple TV has been doing decent stuff. I watched the trailer, right? I will watch the trailer. The Peripheral, Velma, and Mayfair Witches renewed for second season. Did you see that Mindy Kaling got a medal from Biden?
I was just about to say, were you aware that Mindy Kaling had got an award?
Yeah.
An artistic award for creative endeavor or something like that.
I was like, yeah, listen, this is literally the last days of the Empire of Evil. Maybe you don't want to be standing behind the throne now. Maybe wait till after the summer, okay? Right. I don't know. It's just my advice to you, and it's well meant.
It was the most expensive, high-profile participation trophy I've ever seen.
Yes, exactly. That nobody cares about or noticed. What was I going to say? Nick Offerman and Megan Mullally, who I adore both of them, are joining Umbrella Academy. Don't care, right? I'm sorry. Elliot Page gives me a strange vibe. I'm watching a deeply ill person hurt themselves, right? I don't know why I get that vibe from him, who's clearly a man, right? And that makes me not want to watch anything he's in. Funnily enough, I was watching Prometheus the other day, or Covenant, and it had Jesse Smollett in it. I hadn't noticed before, and you noticed it now so well. I was like, oh, that's bad news.
Yeah, he's another one. I mean, that was all disgraceful as well. How that guy was able to avoid prison. Absolutely disgusting.
So, what do you expect? As a comic sequel to Planet of the Apes, they're working on more Planet of the Apes. What they should do with Planet of the Apes, by the way, is in their first of the prequel movies, was it Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes? Can't remember.
Yeah.
Right. You had a spaceship that had taken off and was lost in space. Right. You'd have them come back after a time warp, 5,000 years later, whatever, and it's Ape Society, and it's basically the first movie at that point.
Yeah, for years, since whenever that came out, it's got 2011, something like that. Obviously, they were teasing the idea that that was Taylor, but that potentially they could remake the original film.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It doesn't look like that's going to happen now. I think that could provide him with sort of ride out.
20, 30 years later, from what I heard.
Yeah, it'd be good.
There's new things from Walking Dead. I don't care. There's apparently a new show in it.
I don't know anyone who gives a monkeys about The Walking Dead anymore. Anyone.
I can't believe you're actually making this. It's bizarre. What's this? Andy Diggle continued the saga of Expanse and new comic books. Andy Diggle is one of the worst writers I've ever read.
I've never liked him either. He seems like a nice enough fella, but I've never enjoyed his work.
He's a total more Night to Remember for Rogue Trooper in Garth and Patrick Goddard's. Oh, when's this coming out? Bigger than Prog. I'll wait for the collected edition. That'll be good. I like a bit of Rogue Trooper. More 60s stuff. These are people in Doctor Who. Raquel Welch, looking very hot there, is dead. Very sad. And Sarah K. Jackson, as far as I know, isn't. What are we up to? Mummy's Curse. Demonic forces awaken from ancient slumber in Evil Dead Rise. There's a new Evil Dead movie?
Yeah. I keep forgetting this is coming as well. It's like female lead, blah, blah, blah.
I'm like, no, good, but... I'm just noping out straight away. I don't care. Okay, Dungeons and Dragons. I might. This is an article I might read. See if I can pick up a vibe from it. I mean, it looks fun. It looks good. I will agree with you. It's that I think they just open their stupid mouths and said stupid stuff. So,
I haven't seen any coverage of this. That's probably why my enthusiasm with a small e is still intact. So if they have been saying silly things, it's not made my radar.
Maybe, but Chris Pine has a lot of charisma. Chris Pine can overcome a lot. And it's also got Hugh Grant in it. I love Hugh Grant as well. Hugh Grant's in like an all-time high in his career, I think.
Well, he's certainly making the most interesting choices that he ever has.
Yeah.
He's making good work. Yeah, he's making good work, and he seems to be having fun. Fair play to him. Same with Nick Cage, come to think of it. I mean, does anybody in the world seem to be having more fun than Nick Cage at the moment?
Nick Cage having a lot of fun. So he's playing Dracula in this movie against Nicholas Holt's Redfern. And who feels he has an abusive relationship. It's kind of like What They Do in the Shadows kind of vibe, but with Nicolas Cage, it looks kind of fun. Nicholas Holt is quite good. What's this over here? Yellow Jackets. What's this? Surprise horror hit Yellow Jackets. What's this on? I heard about it.
It is on Paramount Plus. It does look interesting. Whether I'll go out of my way to watch it or not. It's about some crash survivors, either a plane crash or boat crash. The survivors come back, go through some sort of ordeal together, and they come back to their day-to-day lives, but there's something that they don't speak of, some mystery. It does look very stylish, and they've got some good people in it. Good, people. What's her name?
It's like another thing to commit to.
Christina Ricci's in it. It does look good, but it's a question of finding the time.
Ricci, I like her. I do like her. And The Power is on Prime Video from 31st of March. No idea. It might be good. Who knows? What's this? The portable door has finally made it to the big screen. So, what's Tom Holt's portable door? Obviously, it's
I've not heard that one either.
Must be a famous novel.
See, that guy is wearing the costume that Ncuti Gatwa should have been wearing as Doctor Who.
This one?
Yeah.
No, I like his costume.
I quite like it as well, but I think it could do with a little more.
Well,
character.
it seems to me it has variations on a theme. We've seen like he's wearing different versions of it. Yeah. He wears a beanie now and again, stuff like that. Okay, so when's this out? In Sky Cinema from April 7th. All right, I've never heard of it. Whatever. Graveyard Shift is this is on Netflix right now, and this looks like the same location they're using for Doctor Who.
Well, it depends where it's been made.
Did you watch the show?
Graveyard Shift, is it called?
No. It's called Lockwood and Co.
Oh no, I didn't. I did want to watch this, and
is it in its second season?
It looks great. I think it's the first season, but I could be wrong. They're based on books, aren't they? And they've got a young lad who looks like he's sort of a junior David Tennant in it, and another chap who looks a bit like Harry Potter, sort of mucking about. And there's some little bit of some bird in it as well.
Listen, did you watch the rest of Luther, or have you never seen it before?
I've never seen so much as an episode of Luther.
Oh man,
I've been told I should. I've been told that it's right up my street, so I'm going to make an appointment to get it.
This is it's Alex Kurtzman trying to take credit for Picard.
Talk about yesterday's news. Bloody hell.
Sarah Michelle Gellar. What's she doing now?
She's in that new series about the wolf pack. She plays the MILF by the looking at it.
She does play that so role. She goes for the MILF role. Big feature on Sarah Jane Adventures. Why is everyone talking about Sarah Jane Adventures right now?
I think that the timing of this is, I think that it dropping onto iPlayer and all that kind of thing. I think that helps.
I think maybe they're building up a hype for it going on Disney Plus.
It could be, but I think that a lot of this is down to the fact that the kids who watched it when it was brand new, like 2007, 2008, they're all now young adults,
right? And they're loving
the workforce. Yeah, and some of them are having children of their own. Believe it or not.
Right. It's like us when it came back. So I bet this is going to sell well for Big Finish. I hope it does. Anyway.
I'm going to try this. I mean, I'm very fond of Anjali Mahindra. I think not only does she seem like a lovely girl, she's very attractive, but the character as well. In fact, most of the characters in that, you wanted to see them do well in life, and so I am actually interested in what's happened to Rani in those years in between.
Actually, I have to tell you, why? Because she gave a good performance.
Yeah, right? It seemed like somebody
invested in it.
And because she was more so than Maria, I liked the original girl, Maria. I thought she was good too, but she felt a little stunted. Whereas Rani kind of felt like the natural successor to Sarah Jane. She felt like a junior version of the same character.
Different, modern, and cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
So this is a writer. Okay, whatever. Selling book. Oh, Vorp. By the way, I believe only this is the only cover available. You're asking me about this. I believe the main one is the only one available. If they have the Capaldi one, I will go for that. If they're the Voyager one, I'll go for that. Okay, just FYI. Right, this is we have to get our copies of Vorp. By the way, my season 9 arrived.
Hey,
did an unboxing of it.
Yeah, mine did the other day as well. When I was live streaming about that bloody awful trailer, I heard a rattle at the door, and when I went to check.
But again, the funny thing with that was everyone's reaction was, "Oh, this is garbage," right? And then they forgot about tribal lines. That's how much we've come, right? That's how little tribal nonsense we've had for so long that everybody just forgot about it and they reacted normally. And then, like after a day, I go, "Oh, wait! No, my tribe says this." So now I got like that, that Reeves guy who backtracked.
Yeah, Jack Reeves, who I've always I could say he seems poles apart from me, but I've always
Clearly
liked what
intelligent, clearly
exactly.
witty, knows what he's doing. Yeah, I mean, look,
He loves Doctor Who, and he's very, very passionate about it. And so I tend to sort of look fondly on people like that.
Like captured by an insane generation.
Exactly.
Who see, like when I had my back and forth with him, he said, he said this is racist. I'm like, well, explain why, and he couldn't, right? Because they're not programmed.
Well, when I saw Gary on Nerdrotic had apparently been watching on a stream, and Jack had seen this and tweeted it. I've been watched on this channel, and immediately people were saying things to him like, "Oh no, this is bad news," and this guy's this or that or the other. And Jack had clearly never heard of Nerdrotic, and he immediately sort of went and became the ultimate sort of NPC.
Yeah,
I was disappointed.
The tragedy is clearly an intelligent person. Clearly an intelligent kid. Yeah, clearly.
You'd think that. I say he's a grown man.
We're dealing with mental illness on a massive scale, right? And I'm not dissing people being mental. This is like this cognitive dissonance failure that they can't connect reality to what they want reality to be.
And they look more to the point, though, mate. They look to the herd, to say as if to approve the things that they're saying and doing. He made that. He saw that trailer. He saw that was a piece of S, had the same reaction that you and I did. He clearly had a couple of hours to kill in the middle of the day, went off and with a creative burst of energy and passion made that parody video, which I would imagine, I haven't looked to see the numbers, but I would imagine that
huge,
it's probably hit very, very big for him.
It probably did better than the trailer. Right,
but, because he's got several projects on the go. Most of them aren't really to my taste, but that will have done serious good for him and raised his profile. But I'd say within 20 minutes, he'd already apologized for making it.
I know. Because kids do stupid things. What do you want? Because that's why they're kids, right? Kids are stupid. I hate to tell you, kids, you're stupid. It's okay. Everyone's stupid when they're a kid, but they think they're smart.
So, he's like 26, 27 years old.
that's in this day and age, 40 is a kid.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
No. Anyway, Scream 6, don't give a shit, leave me alone. In fact, none of these things are really doing anything for me. Blind Willow Lola. Oh, that's a movie they thought about, but I don't know. Yeah, I'm not. I might read that at some point. No, none of these. In Cocaine Bear, yes, but I already know about it.
Even though there's a lot of material being made, certainly more than I can ever watch in the average week. Why does the SFX seem progressively thinner? Like they're struggling to fill it more and more every month.
Women walking in a post-apocalyptic world. You haven't seen that every day.
Yeah, that looks. God, I'm starting to sound like Ian Diaz.
It's just sorry, like they do the same crap over and over again. It's like we know it. Okay, so this is good news. I'm happy for this. Doctor Who season 9. I'll be watching it for the next couple of weeks. Frankenstein: The True Story. This is James Mason from
I've seen that. It's an old one, isn't it?
Yeah, is this a Hammer one? I don't know.
Around that time.
Okay, and The House that Screamed, that's also in the same era, isn't it?
Never seen that.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it before. Children's film adaptation bumper box. That sounds fun. I bet there's a bunch of good fun stuff there. Batman: The Doom That Came to Gotham. Never heard of it, but okay. None of these things interest me in any way. Portable Door. That's on. We saw that earlier. And they say it's mediocre. Okay. The House on the Edge of the Park. Never heard of it. Soji Ishii. Never heard it. Never will. Oh, they got Strange New Worlds on Blu-ray. I'm thinking I might buy that. That's worth going out for physical media. See what
I agree. I'm going to pick up the Blu-ray of Strange New Worlds as well. I mean, I think that Picard Series 3 has sort of knocked it into a cocked hat, but I did really like it, so I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to treat myself.
Yeah. Although the thing is, though, I don't have a 4K player, but my TV plays 4K, so I might buy it and then have a 4K version downloaded, so I can watch it in 4K because it's really worth it 4K.
Yeah.
A couple of books I don't know about, more books I don't know about, not interested in. I will read this at some point. The review of the very expensive Blake 7 books, which you're in England, you should have ordered this.
Well, I feel like a hypocrite because for years I was moaning that there was no Blake 7 merchandise, and now there's Blake 7 merchandise coming out, and I'm not buying it. And this holds no interest to me whatsoever.
Really?
I cannot think of. I mean, it doesn't help. It doesn't help that I'm not a reader. I'm just not a big reader. But the idea that they've novelized those episodes that I can just go and sit down and watch, and I know they've gone back to Terry's original script.
Like those the novelizations of like the Target novelizations of the old Doctor Who episodes, they're their own thing.
Yeah,
they're different, which is I think what they're doing here as well. I mean, they got to be releasing these as books on tape at some point. I mean, they are an audio bloody company.
I'd say so, but I would imagine it'll be some way down the line. They obviously intend on doing all 4 seasons like this. And good luck to them. I hope this does well. I hope it finds its audience. It would have to be considerably cheaper for me to buy these.
Well, the shipping kills it for me as well. But it's very expensive. That's why I'm saying do them as books on tape. You'll recoup the money. You could even have an AI, voice going. I saw that in the one of the extras on the season 9 Blu-ray is John Pertwee reading Curse of Peladon. That is enough footage easily to get an AI voice clone of John Pertwee.
Yeah,
easily. That'll be cool. But but you can get. They can make it. Okay, here's what they should do, right? Get an AI voice clone of Paul Darrow with the permission of the estate, obviously, or Gareth Thomas, to read one of these things and see how it goes. I think they would do very well with that.
They would clean up. I think that the time they're obviously going to put all 4 of those out. Like I say, I think Big Finish have been good custodians for Blake 7.
Yes, I agree.
I think that they have the creative muscles to actually move Blake 7 on now somehow. Whether that's not permitted by the license that they've got, the arrangement they've got, I don't know. But I think Blake 7 really does need to evolve now for it to go somewhere else. I'd like to see it return to television. I'd like to see a remake. I'd like to.
Stuff is like
I could stand. Well, I could stand either a new series set decades later, a la Star Trek Picard, or I could stand a remake as well. I'd be fine, and pretty much anything they'd want to do.
Have a remake. But I think we're here just showing you with banging on about AI. These are all faked AI pictures, right? And they all look just like they're real to me.
That's AI.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Well, it started with this because people really want to see. Trump was supposed to be arrested this week, and he wasn't. So they made AI pictures of Trump being arrested. Right. And again, they look totally. You wouldn't know this isn't real.
No. I mean, that's you can tell that's not real. But only just. And Adobe have a new AI suite coming out. Right, that's amazing. That is absolutely. You got to crop that out and use it in your.
I got to find out the engine they made these with because I'll do. But the AI one, the Adobe thing is, it will let me do things like isolate Trump. They'll paint out all the other people around it and like make it much wider. Just at a click, it's crazy.
That's hilarious. Absolutely.
And update: as per sources on the ground, Trump has taken command of the NYPD and become the undisputed warlord of Manhattan.
That's amazing.
And again, listen, you will look at this and you go, "Oh, that's real."
No, seriously, it looks completely authentic. Having seen him present that award to Mindy Kaling, yeah, I could completely believe that he would do this. That he would go there.
It to one picture, they can do it to a sequence of pictures, which makes movie.
Yeah.
And they can do it photorealistic. But okay, more interesting. They can do. You can do this.
Yes, this is coming up. No AI involved or any kind of deep fake of any kind. You get 100% authentic human beings talking just talking later on at Type 40 Live, where we'll be getting together. Myself and my platoon are going to be falling in and discussing Unit, our love of Unit, or maybe not. I don't know what the others are going to say about this, but it's Unit throughout history, right the way from 1968. Or is it 58? I'm not entirely sure. From 1968 up until the present day.
68, because the unit was not formed in the Web of Fear.
Well, this is the thing. When you dig into this stuff, you become quite embroiled in lots of inconsistencies. That's not like Doctor Who, is it?
Yeah.
And lots of things.
Countermeasures thing that overlays it at the same time.
Yeah, so we're going to dig into some of that, but we're basically going to have a good old geek out about Unit, about our favourite characters, their finest hours, and we'll be looking into the Doctor Who diary with Simon Horton as well. And we'll be looking at the possibilities for the spin-off too that people do seem convinced is coming. So we're going to be debating that. Lots of people were asking us about it last week. We were talking about something else last week. We're doing something else. So we thought we turn it into an entire show, and this is going to be a really good laugh. So come and bring your memories to the live chat later on the Spacebook channel. And tell us your favourite Unit moments by all means. We're all ears, all eyes for that. Cheers, Rabbi.
Mate, you've got to get on Rumble, okay? I am waving the flag for Rumble.
I'm coming. I'm rumbling. It's happening. I guarantee it's happening.
I just looked at my stats. I got it's 3 times the size of YouTube.
Well, what I'll do, I've got some time tomorrow, so I'm hitting ignition on that, and I'll probably speak to you about it at some point over the weekend after your Sabbath.
Okay.
Because I've got a couple of ideas, and I want to run them past you. And let's see what we can do. Let's rumble a little bit, shall we?
Okay.
Yeah,
but I think you have to head off, right?
I do. But this is Sergeant Dan Hadley signing off. I'll see some of you at 8:00. I hope. Here's my wiggle. Wiggle like that there. And thanks for the invite. I'll catch you all later. Cheers, mate. Oh, where's my button to go? Where is it?
I just took it off because you're leaving.
Oh, okay.
I can put it back on. I don't mind. Now they're gone. Let's go back to SFX magazine. But first, I got to find it. Oh, it's nice when Jan drops in. I do enjoy the stream. Fine, share screen. So we're not doing Mando tonight. Okay, forget it. I'm nearly 2 hours in. We'll do Mando. Maybe we're definitely doing Picard, right? If I'm doing it, if I'm doing it with Keith, it's going to be run long, so we might do Mando on Sunday, right? Unit fell off when it returned for Battlefield. That should have been its send off, right? At that point, it was never as good again, right? Where'd it go? Hang on, cancel. I got to doink. There you go. I know Dan was very down on those adaptations. I think they look good. They're short as well, which means I would probably read them. They're 124 to 163 pages each. Great writers, all of them, including Paul Cornell. If I could afford it, I would have got them. It's been good. The Liberator has toilets, so it also makes clothes and lockpick equipment for the crew. Well, that all makes sense. Star Wars and 100 objects, don't care. And then what's this? End of the story. Okay, in front. No, none of this stuff interested in the slightest. White Cat, Thirsty Amp. No. Okay, look, if they're into this, good. Who's Riddler Year One? Paul Dano. I bet that's probably quite good. Oh, Paul Dano, as in. So this is the Joker. No, this is the. Oh God, the turgid. Batman. What was it called again? The Batman Riddler. Yeah, look, good for you, mate. Not for me. Superman Space Age. Mark Russell, Mark Ord. How will Superman deal with the end of the world? Pitching the character's innate optimism against unchangeable fate isn't a new concept, but DC's latest 3-issue miniseries at least features a new twist on it. Superman Space Age pitches Kal-El into the political realities of the 1960s America, and then follows him across the years until the Earth faces the inevitable destruction in the 85 crossover. I don't know. I like Michael Ard. Not sure about the script though. Doctor Strange, Magical Mystery by Trad Moore. I think that Doctor Strange is the right title to have a single voice on it, right? Have a writer, artist on it. Not sure about the artwork though. Danger Street by DC Black Label with Tom King. I'll give that a miss then. Nightclub by Mark Millar and Image. I thought he was doing stuff. Is his deal is like Image Netflix? Is that what it is? Reaching the peak of PSVR. The VR's over, mate. It was only for porn, sadly. I hope they would do more with it, but it's only for porn. Not even close to listening to this yet. Doctor Who: Return of Joe Jones. I am listening to the first Doctor one, which really is very good. I liked it a lot. Doctor Who companions. Let's see how well we're doing. Question 1. What's the first companion the camera actually shows us in Doctor Who? Is it Barbara? I think it's Barbara, right? And then first, because we don't see Susan, it's Barbara, right? It's Barbara. Let's have a look. Barbara, I am right. Okay, so I feel good about myself. Okay, so yeah, that's something I would read. So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. What's the next one? Fear of the Walking Dead. That's still going. Citadel, Russo Brothers' new universe. That I would definitely be interested in. Right, I really like the thing they did on. What was it? They did something else on Netflix. Let me quick look at Russo Brothers. Russo Brothers. Wikipedia. So, Grey Man. I like that a lot. So, Citadel, they're doing it's a TV show. So, Amazon Prime. Is it out yet? Is an upcoming science fiction drama series created by Joseph Amal and Brian O for Amazon Prime. Stars Richard Madden and Priyanka. Citadel agents, blah, 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 blah. So what's this got to do with what's his name? Created by, I don't know. I'm confused. So what's this got to do with the Russo brothers? I don't see the names anywhere. I'm confused. Oh, they're the producers, right? And it's coming out at the end of April. Okay, whatever. Looks fun. Star Trek, with The Gift That Keeps On Giving. Trekkers, Dark Crystal. It's time for ballet. What? Really? And Star Wars, Doctor Who, and more. Of course. That's how I put. Oh, grot bags. We love grot bags. Okay. They've just earned their digital subscription this month with a bit of grot bags. Who doesn't love grot bloody bags? And Rod Howard-Emu. Oh, I love a bit of Rod Howard-Emu. They are the best. They are absolutely the best. Fine. So that is your SFX magazine for this month. Is it a recommend? It depends how interesting. You see what's in it, okay? If you think it's interesting, okay. Barbara. Oh, me and Lonnie were right. Barbara. Okay, good. I think with that, I'm wrapping up, ladies and gentlemen. I think with that, we did the unboxing. That was fun. We did the SFX review. Let's look at the thumbnail and see what I didn't do. I didn't do the headline story. I didn't do the headline story. Or Luther. Or Mando. Man, I don't think I can't. I'm knackered. Knackered, mate. Paul Dano, not Dinny. That's what I thought as well. Paul Dano, the guy from the movie. Fine. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I am wrapping up. I'm hitting the end broadcast button. I'm hitting